Hola amigos, ¿qué tal? Stuart here from Spain Speaks with a Spain news update, and more news about the general budgets for 2022 has come to light, and some autonomous communities here in Spain are not happy, but more about that in just a moment. Firstly, a big thanks to all of the people that left comments on the last video. Lots of comments, lots of debate happening there as usual. Thanks to people that supported the channel by buying merchandise, and a big thanks to my patrons on Patreon for your ongoing support. Now, let's get into the news, and as I said, the general budgets here in Spain for 2022 continue to make headlines, and some autonomous communities are not happy about the way the money is being distributed, as Catalonia is the region that receives the most money from the budget and Madrid is fourth, despite being the one that contributes the most. Pedro Sanchez's government has announced how the 13 billion euros of the budget that will be allocated to the autonomous communities will be distributed. Of these, Catalonia and Andalusia will benefit the most, while the capital falls for the second consecutive year. During a press conference after delivering the General State Budget Bill to Congress, the Minister of Finance, María Jesús Montero, announced that this distribution is based on two headings, one specific for each territory and the other non-regionalizable, which includes infrastructures that affect more than one region, a section that has a very important impact on the community of Madrid, as it is a transport hub. So the Madrid community not happy with the general state budgets for 2022, as it's going to get half the amount of money that Catalonia and Andalusia is going to get. And how's the government going to pay for this budget? Well, taxes are going to go up. Now, taxes, unfortunately, are not the only thing that's going up at the moment, as the general cost of living is also increasing. As we can see here, the triple cost crisis is expected to lead to further increases in the shopping basket. These costs will have to be passed on. The triple cost crisis, rising prices of raw materials, energy and transport, has already put pressure on the shopping basket, the last link in the supply chain. In the prices of some products, this increase in prices is already noticeable, and it seems inevitable that it will spread despite manufacturers and distributors trying to adjust margins so that consumers don't notice it, especially on the eve of the Christmas campaign, which is key to spending. There is increasing tension that this rise in raw materials will be passed on to the final price, and this uncertainty is already being felt in households, explains Bernardo Rodilla, Director of Commerce at the consultancy firm Kantar World Panel, which yesterday presented figures on the evolution of mass consumption in Spain. So consumers currently being hit on all three fronts here in Spain: shopping basket, energy prices, and transport costs. And it's getting tougher and tougher for a lot of people to make ends meet. Now, gun violence unfortunately reared its head in Spain the other day, as shots were fired at a university campus in the Basque Country. There were tense moments on Wednesday afternoon at the León campus of the University of the Basque Country. Sergio Sánchez Moreira, a student from the Faculty of Science and Technology, fired 25 shots with a hunting rifle. The young man was arrested and has declared that his intention was not to hurt anyone, only to cause material damage. He had bought the gun that same morning, a Franchi 12-gauge shotgun that was sold to him by a Basque police agent on the internet. The young man has a valid license and is a student with an excellent academic record. He passed the approved medical examination. So a disgruntled student causing mayhem on a university campus in the Basque Country with a 12-gauge shotgun. And as we saw, he purchased the gun the very same morning of the attack from a Basque police officer on the internet. Now, the former King of Spain, Juan Carlos, is back in the headlines today, and Prime Minister Sanchez believes that the King Emeritus should give explanations. This is information that undermines confidence, he says. The President of the government, Pedro Sanchez, has assured this Thursday that King Juan Carlos I should give explanations for the disturbing information that has become known about his economic activities, and has guaranteed that he will not be treated with favoritism during his interview on La Sexta. He has assured this, but has distanced himself from the decision that the Public Prosecutor's Office is expected to take to close the investigation into the origin of the Emeritus King's fortune. It would be appropriate for Juan Carlos to say what his opinion is on all these facts, which, as I describe them, are disturbing information and which in the end undermine the confidence of the Spanish people in all the institutions, he said. So, there we go. According to the Prime Minister, former King Juan Carlos should sit down and give explanations about how he managed to accumulate such a fortune. And I think he's right when he says that cases like this cause a lot of people in this country to lose faith in the system. Because obviously when corruption starts at the top, it's going to be rife at lower levels. Now there's some good news on the health situation here in Spain, and it is that ICU beds occupied by coronavirus patients are now less than 5%. The Minister of Health, Catalina Dadia, stated on Wednesday that at least for a while, face masks will remain with us because the coronavirus is still present. However, the cumulative incidence rate continues to fall, although it has slowed down in recent weeks and stands on Thursday at 40.52 cases, 41.45 on Wednesday, according to the latest report issued by the Ministry of Health, and ICU beds occupied by coronavirus patients are now less than 5%. The department, headed by Catalina Dadias, has also reported a total of 1,932 new infections, 994 of which were diagnosed the previous day, bringing the total number of cases since COVID-19 arrived in Spain to 4,982,138. And if we have a look at a summary of the health situation in Spain, we can see that accumulated incidence rate for the last 14 days, 40.52, and the rest of the health data related to COVID-19 improving around the country. Now, as we all know, last Tuesday, the 12th of October, Spain celebrated its National Day, a day here known as El Día de la Hispanidad. In other places, it's known as Columbus Day, and for some people, especially in North America, this day has become controversial, and it's also causing tensions between the right side of politics in Spain and Joe Biden. As we can see from this headline, Spanish right attacks Biden over Columbus and conquests. The leader of the Conservative Popular Party, Pablo Casado, described Spain's colonial expansion to the Americas as the most important event in history after the Roman Empire on the eve of Spain's 12th of October holiday marking Christopher Columbus's 1492 arrival in the New World. Does the Kingdom of Spain have to apologize because 5 centuries ago it discovered the New World, respected those who were there, created universities, created prosperity, built entire cities? I don't think so, Mr. Casado said in a video posted on Twitter. His comments came after President Biden, in a message to mark the US Columbus Day holiday, said the explorer's arrival had led to a wave of devastation for Native Americans, and he urged Americans not to bury these shameful episodes of our past. So Spain's main opposition party, the PP, and US President Joe Biden clearly divided on Christopher Columbus's arrival in the New World in 1492. For the PP, it's the second most important event in history, and for Biden, it's a shameful episode from our past. So let us know where you sit on the matter in the comment section below. Now let's have a look at some of those comments from previous videos. One here from Paul: what does a Cooper mean? This guy never translates the Spanish he mentions. I did A-level Spanish, but have never come across ocupar nor botellamiento, which he used in a recent YouTube broadcast. I thought these videos were directed at native English speakers. According to my Spanish dictionary, ocupar means squat, which may not be the context here. Yeah, Paul, thanks for the comment, and sorry to see that your Spanish is not at a level to understand words like ocupa or botellón. And let's be honest, these are words that you are not going to learn in your A-level Spanish textbook. But the good news is that your dictionary is up to date, and it has the word ocupar in it, which does in fact mean squat. Therefore, ocupa is squatter. So every now and again you will find Spanish words used on this channel that you won't find in Spanish textbooks, but I'll try to explain what they mean in greater detail in the future. One here from No Till Life: Spanish pig farming is a disgrace. Biggest mafia with too much power, the government does nothing to oversee them. Here in Catalonia, most of the fresh water springs are now contaminated with excess nitrates due to the spreading of pig shit on the camps in quantities that are illegal, but no one seems to be stopping them. Yeah, No Till Life, thanks for the comment, and obviously related to a story that we saw the other day from the Guardian newspaper saying that the Mar Menor in the Murcia region is now the biggest toilet in Europe because of all of the nitrates from the pig farming activity there that have been washed into that lagoon. And you're right, the pig farming industry here in Spain is very, very powerful because, as we know, Spanish people love to eat pork. And as I said the other day, the biggest company in the region of Murcia is related to this industry, and they have enormous power on government there, I imagine. So time to get serious with this industry and stop the pollution. One here from Ant Stuart: how does your family post you parcels and avoid you paying import duty and handling costs? It's a rip-off for them to pay for the gifts I'm sending. Yeah, and thanks for the comment. And basically what I've done is stop my family from sending me these packages and parcels because I'm fed up with having to pay these extra costs when they arrive. It is, as you say, an absolute rip-off, So if somebody in Australia wants to buy my son a Christmas present or a birthday present, for example, we ask them to buy it online on a European website so that we don't have to pay those extra charges, and that's the only way basically to avoid those costs. One here from Stephen. Hi Stuart, great quality videos as usual. Thanks. My children are grown-ups now, but one of the pleasures for me when I visit Spain is the vibrancy and energy of the people. As an older man, I enjoy seeing kids enjoy themselves, and frankly, if you are averse to noise, then Spain is maybe not for you. You're in a public eating place, not a monastery, and children are people too. Yes, Stephen, thanks for the comment, and related to another article that we saw the other day about a restaurant in the Basque Country that has banned children from entering. A fairly controversial thing here because, as we know, it's fairly common for parents to take their kids to restaurants and bars at the weekend. And I would agree with you that it is a characteristic when you go out and have a bite to eat here in Spain that you do see a lot of kids running around enjoying themselves, and I think it gives ambiente to these places. And if you don't like it, probably better to have lunch at home. One here from Stevo. Since Brexit, Stu has previously said that the UK is now a third country just like Australia and the same rules apply. This isn't actually correct. Brits still have an option for living and working inside the EU indefinitely without additional visas. Ireland is fully open to all Brits, and after 5 years of residence they can apply for Irish citizenship, an Irish passport, and therefore full access to the EU states. Yes, Devo, thanks for the comment, but the fact of the matter is that for the majority of EU countries, the UK is now a third country. I understand that there is a special agreement between the UK and Ireland that you could go there and live and work for 5 years, then get an Irish passport, and then try to work in the European Union as an EU citizen. But realistically, who is going to do that? Especially given just how easy it was for people from the UK to live and work in the EU before Brexit. So let's just weigh this up. Before Brexit, a person from the UK could come to Spain without a visa, spend as much time here as they wanted. If they needed to work, they could go into the Spanish labour market, apply for a job, also didn't need a visa, and had exactly the same rights as any other EU citizen. But now you have to go and live and work in Ireland for 5 years, then apply for Irish citizenship to get the same rights as you had before. That's what I call convenient. And finally, one here from Yesukariva. Stuart, is Mexican food popular in Spain? I am aware of the differences, but if I moved to Spain, I would still like a good taco truck. Yesukariva, thanks for the comment. Of course, in the big cities here in Spain, you'll be able to find lots and lots of Mexican restaurants. In fact, nowadays you can find cuisine from all over the world in Spanish cities, but in some of the smaller cities and towns you might struggle to find Mexican food. So Mexican food does exist here, but I wouldn't say that it's popular. On that note, I'll wrap the video up. Questions and comments, please leave them in the section below. Debate the video out as you normally do. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you didn't. I'll see you in the next one. Hasta luego.